Hi, I'm Ross Gustafson, and this is Tesla Volta Games, the video channel about ironic names and great board games. Have you ever wanted to conquer the galaxy, send your mighty fleets into battle, or have more influence than all your opponents? Have you ever wanted to build an empire and send your Death Stars off to intimidate your opponents who dare defy you? Or maybe you would like to use your wealth and influence in the mighty world of politics and crush or cripple your opponents with just a stroke of a pen. Welcome to the world of Twilight Imperium 3rd edition. In this video, we're going to show you an introduction to the world of Twilight Imperium. As well, we're going to show you how to set up a game of Twilight Imperium. In Twilight Imperium 3rd edition, sometimes called Twilight Imperium 3, the purpose of the game is to use your military fleets, your politics, trade, technology, and intrigue to gain power in the galaxy. You are the leader of one of 17 different races, if you include the 2 expansions, Shattered Empire and Shards of the Throne, and you're competing against other people in the leaders to gain this power. This power is represented by a point system, and you earn these points by completing certain objectives in the game. The first person to gain 10 points wins the game. As well, in the game, certain objective cards may end the game, particularly an objective card known as Imperium Rex will immediately end the game if it is revealed. If this card is revealed, then the person with the most points at that moment is the ruler of the galaxy and wins the game.
We'll begin this video with the setup. First, take the home systems. There should be 10 in the main game, plus some extras in the expansions, but for now, we're going to ignore the expansions. And have players choose at random by selecting one of the available home systems. Although this is the official way in the rulebook of selecting a race, feel free as a group to decide how to choose races where everyone has fun in it and agrees on it. With your race, you'll gain tokens for your race. They're just for you, plus your home world and some cards. Once everyone has picked a race, everyone should pick a color they wish their units to be. It doesn't matter which color it is, just pick your favorite color. With your color, you gain your ships, units, and technology deck. A note with technology decks, if you own the expansions, you may have technologies that belong to the original technology deck reprinted with revised rules. You should make sure to use those rules and those revised cards if you have those sets. The 3 technologies replaced in Shattered Empire expansion are microtechnology, assault cannon, and advanced fighters. Continue with the setup. Set aside some area on your table for the common play area. These items include a shuffled action card deck, a shuffled political card deck, the planet deck with the race home worlds removed, the fighter tokens, the ground force tokens, the trade good tokens, the player score track with the 0 to 10 points side face up, 1 flag belonging to each player's race on the 0 of the score track, 6 shuffled Stage 1 public objective cards with 4 shuffled Stage 2 public objective cards underneath the Stage 1 public objective cards, with 1 of the Stage 2 public objective cards being the Imperium Rex card. All other public objectives go back in the box with no one looking at them. Some 10-sided dice, more commonly referred to as D10s. All 8 of the strategy cards side by side in order, the bonus tokens, and the speaker token. Now that the common area is set up, it is now time for the players to set up the game board. In our example, we will show how it is done with 4 players. First, put Mechatol Rex in the center of the board area. Then, randomly select the player who will start with a speaker token. Now, starting with that speaker player, and going in a clockwise pattern, have each player place their homeworld system a fair distance, roughly 2 tiles distance from the sides of Mechatol Rex. We're going to join them back later. Once everyone has placed their homeworlds, let the speaker shuffle the rest of the non-homeworld systems, and select 32 of them for a 4-player game. If you're using the base set only, you should be only 35 of these tiles, and you only need to remove a few tiles at random. Once shuffled, deal 8 of these remaining tiles to all 4 players. The players do not show the other players their system tiles that they have in their hand. Then, starting with the speaker and going clockwise, all players will place 1 tile at a time until you get to the 4th player, who should be to the right of the speaker. Then, once that player is done placing their first tile, they're going to place another tile, and the placement of that tile goes counterclockwise until it returns back to the speaker, who places the 4th tile in this new chain. Then, the speaker would place another tile, causing the tile placements to be in clockwise player order again. This snake chain placement goes back and forth until all the tiles are placed. Now, some final rules about placing systems. You must place tiles in the first ring until it is completely filled up. You can place them anywhere in the first ring, but it must be filled up before you go on to the second ring. Once that first ring is filled up, you can go on to the second ring, and same thing. You fill up that ring, you can place tiles anywhere in that ring, but it must be filled up before you get to the third ring. Then you can finally place all your tiles in the third ring. Your home systems are always going to be in the third ring, and are automatically placed once they have a neighboring system the home system can touch and move next to. If a tile, or better known as a system, has no planets, it is considered an empty system for the purposes of game setup. A player cannot play an empty system after the previous system that player placed was also an empty system. The only exception is if a player no longer has non-empty systems in their hand. The same can be said about red bordered tiles. A player cannot place 2 red bordered tiles in a row unless they have no other choice. Also, a player cannot place a red border system next to another red border system unless they have no other choice. Now that you have seen the 4-player setup, the other setups are generally the same as you can see on the screen. Feel free to pause the video if you need to for your setup, or refer to the rules manual, which has some excellent diagrams. The major difference is the starting location of the player's homeworlds and how many planet tiles each person receives in their hand. Note that the 3-person setup does not have a full third ring of systems, but only 2 adjacent systems next to the 3 home systems in the third ring. Now that the game board and common area is all set up, there is one final setup step, and that is setting up your player area. Now it's time for you to all switch chairs and make sure that you are sitting in front of your home system. Now you're going to need some items to be placed in front of you, and these items are your race sheet for your race you chose or were given, your race command tokens, your race flags, your colored military fleets and ground forces for the color you chose, your colored technology card deck, your home system planet cards. There should be 1 to 3 of these. Your trade agreement cards for your race. There should always be 2 of these cards. And 1 secretly dealt secret objective card given to each player. The remainder of the secret objective cards are put back in the box in secret, so no one knows what cards were given out. Now that you have all your items out, it is time to set them up. First, look at your race sheet and see the starting units. Select the unit specified and place them on your starting homeworld system. Make sure to put ground forces, space docks, and PDS on the planets, and ships in space. If you leave one of your homeworld unoccupied, then I suggest placing a flag token there to show it is unoccupied for clarity's sake. This is, however, not required of your homeworld, since they always belong to you initially in the game. Now that you have your ships out, look at the starting technologies for your race, and get the technology cards for those technologies specified and place them next to your race sheets face up. Take your command tokens for your race and place 2 of them in the strategy allocation area of your mat face up, 3 of them on your fleet allocation area of your mat face down, and 3 of them on your command allocation area of your mat face up. Take your planet cards and put them face up in front of your mat. Take your trade agreements and put them face up on top of your mat or in front of your mat or next to your mat, somewhere clear. The remainder of your command counters, plastic units, and flags are set off to the side of your player mat. This is considered your reinforcements for these items. This is an important term for later in the game. Finally, any bonuses to set up for your race, as mentioned in your race's special abilities, for any extra tokens, trade goods, or other items, these happen now.
Well, there you have it. This is a basic setup of how to play Twilight Imperium 3. These rules are going to be used in virtually every single game of Twilight Imperium 3 you wish to play. If you'd like to enhance your experience, you can always use the variant rules found in the base game, as well as those found in the 2 expansions, Shattered Empire or Shards of the Throne. Feel free to mix it up after a few games if you wish. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to add them to the comment section below. Also, check out the description or the video channel below for more links for Twilight Imperium related videos and other games in the future. I am Ross Gustafson, and we at Tesla Volta Games wish you fun and hoped we sparked your interest into playing better games like Twilight Imperium 3.